I'm going to, so looking into that opportunity, you can see one of the metro fibers here between these two locations. You can open each location up and just see this part is owned by product. They are telling us that in this location, these products are supported. So you can see pretty much everything, all of we do. And the reason they can do that is dictated by the product supported location, A or Z end. So, the product supported locations, meaning we'll call them a homing gateway. So a default homing gateway. So for an Ethernet 1 gig service, the homing gateway is the same location, meaning we must have a router there that can support that. So all for the Ethernet services there. Likewise, a long haul wave. We have a long haul node in Rotterdam 6, or we're able then to fiber extend. And in some locations, we're getting the distance, which is useful. So say you're having to fiber extend into an enterprise building, you can see where the nearest long haul node would be back to then be able to fiber extend. Amsterdam 4, similarly, the product support locations, you can see that we are 0.41 of a kilometre. I'm not sure if that's as the crow flies or based on the fibre distance. I think for this it's as the crow flies, and that's all dictated back off of the location data that's coordinated in there. So when I'm creating a KMZ, I'll copy. I wish there was a tool that did it, but it's basically a case of the quick way is copying the coordinates, dropping a pin in Google Earth. There is a couple of tools that we have to do these, to make these scripts to generate a KMZ for you. And it's ultimately coming down back to information in Salesforce. You could also probably look to see if one has been done before. So list out the two full locations, hit return, and you may find, in some cases, you would find a service that runs between two data centers. For example, Interaction to Telehouse North. And there you go. You've got circuits, you've got services, you've got cases that have been raised, VSR, vendor service requests, so done by carrier, whether we need third party, Ethernet services, fibers, colo space, cross connects, all of it's in here. So if I'm looking for a stretch of fiber between two locations and I don't have to create a KMZ again, I could view more of that, all of them, go for the dark fibers, find a live one, and usually find a customer circuit, because that's the top level of a dark fiber request, and the network inventory is broken down into segments. So if I click on one and look at it, how this customer circuit dark fiber is actually delivered, there's the circuit endpoints. Circuit hierarchy is broken down like this. So I've got what is making up a customer circuit. The customer circuit, it has been broken down into sections of dark fibers, patches, structured cabling, and again you can drill into each of these. So this dark fiber will eventually have a span ID, and that is taken, that will produce or be mapped in GIS, which is what the fiber planner is used to do that. I should be able to hopefully get the KMZ file for it. There we go. This sits on the Geo server, and we're able to download them, and I think they run a project earlier just to automatically dump the Geo server information back into each of the spans. So it's good that you could say, alright, I don't need to redraw a new KMZ, I'll just download this one and open that up. And once Google Earth opens, that'll load. In the meantime, we jump back to here talking about a dark fiber, a new opportunity, metro fiber between Rotterdam and Amsterdam 4. As I said earlier, based on the product that's selected, and in this case it's metro fiber, that means that we're going to need a splicing budget item automatically has been populated into this design. So based on the wizard information, we're setting it as EU networks DMARCs between these locations. salesperson would have or should have selected interfaces. This is quite time consuming when they don't do it at the top at the first stage, because they could have 10 fibers, they could have 100 fibers, and if they've not set it on the one, they then duplicate and then populate them out. So all 100 would have the standard interface set. I've tried to work on projects where we can get, our preferences, our default preferences set by standards without them having to select it. It's easier to have something in there and change it to correct it, but the rare times there is that it's not it's a bespoke solution, and we need to change it. However, 9 times out of 10 you're going to be leaving the standard. There is only one option here, so you're setting the default. It's better to have something other than nothing. And like I say, if we need to change it, it's quicker to change the odd one than set all of them to correct. Anyway, what has happened here is it's seen that it's a metro fiber, it's seen its EUD marks, so it has populated the budget items needed. These are just informational, but it's basically saying it's an EUD mark, it's not a client D mark, so we don't need to involve a cross connect, and we're automatically populating the Amsterdam splicing. What we're doing here as a sales engineer is the thought process would be, you've had a conversation with a customer and they want a metro fiber. Well, that's not really been the case. The account manager has had the conversation. I'm not too sure from anything I've been told. There is a way to do it, but they've not put any notes to say customer needs a specific route, and in fact they've even mentioned it here, non-standard route. So all I would do as an SE would be to do shortest available route, and that would mean to the planner that would be looking, all right, they don't need to go anywhere specific, and then just give them that, the shortest available route. What we should be doing, and what we would do is find a route, create the KMZ. That is all part of this process, and then we would say build it like that, as per KMZ attached. Again, the reordering of this should be there. This should be 3. And then you get your flow from A to Z. This is part of the auto design. So EUD mark at the A end, a splice between Rotterdam 6, Amsterdam 4, and EUD mark at AM, the B end. That would be it. Done. There is that span from earlier.